Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Heavy Fallout. Just going to go over what's going to happen with the next election. What kind of debauchery is going to go on.
Yeah, just like the last one.
Yeah, it's just like every election, a lot of weird stuff happens. Stuff gets censored, stuff gets blasted out.
Yeah, well, not like every election, specifically 2020, which was stolen.
Last one was the worst.
Yeah, which is a stolen election. And then this 2024 election, they're definitely going to steal it again, dude.
Yeah, but I think for the last 20 years, there's been so much manipulation of voting.
You cannot compare it, though, to 2020.
No, you can't. But I think, like, even going back to, like, Al Gore days, remember he said, like, oh, we got to do a recount in Florida. And, like, even, like, God, it was like 6 years ago. I remember the Democrats were losing their mind over the Dominion's voting system in California. And they were saying it's the most corrupt, hackable system on the planet. And then it's funny that they say that. Look it up. They said it was the worst voting system on the planet. And now they're like, no, it's fine. It's
totally fine.
Don't even look into it. It's like, you guys were saying this was garbage. It was the worst. They have cell phone modems in every single voting machine for no reason.
You know what? That's fake news. You're not allowed to talk about that. Please shut up about that. Hey, listen, don't talk about that, or I'll have you arrested.
Yeah, but they're saying it's so we can get live updates. We don't need to risk an entire presidential election just so we can have faster updates. They still take forever. They still take 3 weeks.
They already risked it. They already risked the last presidential election. They already trashed it. No one believes that your vote fucking counts anymore. And if anybody does, then they're out of their mind.
Yeah.
Last time. So this time they're going to do the same thing they did last time. They're going to try to do COVID lockdowns. That way they could do the mail-in voting.
That's going to be so obvious, though. If they try to do lockdowns, like I don't think anyone's up for that again.
Whatever gets them the victory, dude, they'll do it again.
And then now that Elon Musk owns Twitter, or X is whatever he named it now, that's going to have a little bit of an effect that he's blown open the gates on all this stuff was influenced by.
You're gonna have half the country.
Social media owners. You're
gonna have half the country flock to X or Twitter or whatever it is now. Around the time of the election, half the country is gonna go on there because they're gonna be able to go, "Hey, the election's rigged. Hey, fucking."
But you're not gonna have people like censored. Like you're not gonna have the president of the United States banned from social media. That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, you will on everything else. On YouTube, he'll be banned around the time of the election.
Well, he doesn't use YouTube, so who cares?
Well, I'm just saying, Twitter. He will. He will be. You won't be able to post anything about Trump on YouTube. You won't be able to post anything on Instagram.
Yeah, it's all going to be augmented.
Everything else except for X, but they're going to try to get X or Twitter, whatever you call it now.
I think it's
whatever the funk you call it now.
It's just like so debated and like so known. I think most people know if they don't even if they don't believe that, hey, it's all like controlled, they're like, hey, they have the idea that, hey, this might be manipulated. Like they have an eye on it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like it's gonna be a lot harder for them to pull that off because everyone's already like, is it manipulated? I think a lot of people are like, it's definitely manipulated.
No, it doesn't matter because they have the mainstream media. They have
no one watches that.
Everyone all liberals watch it, dude. They all watch it. So
it's
they're,
like they're
totally down with that, and they're ready to just deny. Like if they were to steal it again, like they did in 2020, which they did steal it, that's a fact, right? Then in 2024 they'll steal it again, and then if you say anything about it, if you go, it looks suspicious, it looked this, they'll be like, you are crazy, just like they did last time.
No, it's just like I would say it's a fact because you can't prove it. They're good at hiding evidence.
So you don't believe the 2020 election was stolen at all?
I do.
Okay.
I'm just saying you can't say it's a fact without the proof. Like they're good at hiding.
So you believe things that aren't facts?
No, I'm saying they're good at hiding their work.
But you're saying it's not even real.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like they did it in a way that's they've been doing this for
plausible deniability.
There's no way this is their first rodeo. They've been doing this. Yeah, if you don't have a smoking gun, if you don't have no human being, it's just human nature. Everyone knows that. Like the CIA knows that. Everyone knows that nowadays. Like if people as a group are not presented with something that's like, this is the facts, here's the video footage of them doing it, here's the emails saying they stole 1 million votes. If you don't have that, but you have video like really obscure videos of them like pulling bags out of crap and things like the numbers and stuff.
Going
which
into
all,
a voting place and just taking bags of votes away.
The
and
numbers
disappear.
just are not like everyone's like, well, it's possible. It's like, yeah, statistically it's possible, but mathematically in reality, it's not possible at all that happen. It's not possible. Like you could say like mathematically it's possible. It's like, yeah, that's stupid. We live in reality. That's not possible for, what was it, like 80,000 votes to come in a row where they voted for no one except president and only picked Biden. That's impossible. It's not, that's okay. Go out there and flip a coin that many times. I'll give you a billion chances. You're not going to do that ever. It's not possible.
Yeah. And when you think about it like that, you know, it's like those guys are actually doing us a big favor, you know, because they were being cool. Because they only did the presidential election. They didn't go down the ballot and vote for anything else. They just said, hey, we want Biden to be president.
That's a panic move where like you don't even try to make it look organic. Like you're just like, just get the votes. We need the votes. He's failing.
Oh my God,
miserably.
He's winning. Trump's about to win. We can't have this again.
Biden's a horrible speaker, and to say that it's like Obama should be pissed. To say that he beat Obama in votes is like, wow, you guys.
Biden's better than Obama.
That's so sad.
He's
Obama should be
superior
so
to
pissed.
Obama.
And I'm sure he is. He's probably like, I can't say anything because it's like, it is what it is. Like I'd be going against my own people, but this guy stole it. Like this is horrible. I would say Obama probably earned his votes, all of them, most of them. I don't think and then have Biden.
McCain back then. That was obvious that McCain was going to lose.
And he earned it, and he was like the people's champion or whatever, especially for the liberals. Then this guy comes in, it's just like stumbling over everything. Can't even do a debate.
Can't
just
stand
horrible.
up. Can't ride a bicycle.
Yeah.
Can't finish sentences.
Now, and he's like, man, they're saying he got more votes than me. I don't know, man. That's a slap in the face to Obama.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know. We'll see. I think there's going to be some debauchery for sure going on. I think there's going to be some weird numbers coming in again. They did it once. They're going to do it again. They're not getting rid of voting machines that can easily be touched from outside sources through cell phone routers and whatnot. That's an easy thing to buy, like to get around, and it's probably already like they've done it once. They already have technology to bypass it and change votes. You might think you're voting for one person, but they can just change all that. And you have the fact that we have no way to validate our votes. Like you could have like a two-party system, like where you have to vote on both a Democrat and a Republican voting station. And like if the numbers don't match up, someone's doing foul play. And then it's like, okay, well, at least we know someone's using foul play on the voting system. This needs to be addressed. But now we're like, I don't know if they are. Maybe they're not. Maybe this is one. And I think everyone would agree if you had a Republican and a Democratic, like you had a vote at two different facilities that were just controlled by that place, like you would have probably very different outcomes, which means someone's cheating. I don't care that they don't match up, and it's not going to come to a, like, you're not going to reconcile who won, but you're going to definitely know someone's cheating.
Yeah.
There's that problem. We got to address it. Like, someone's cheating.
Yep.
So, I don't know. We're not addressing a fix for the voting system. That's wild to me. We're not even trying. Like, I'm sure there's some great minds out there that could come up with a system that would work flawlessly.
A lot of work. There's not enough time, and then
we want flaws.
Well,
we want a flawed system.
Half of America wants flaws.
Well, people that are making $200 million a year on $200,000 salary.
People that are in power now want flaws.
That's what I'm saying. The people that are making $200 million a year, politicians, what I'm saying, while they're on $100,000 or $200,000 salary, how are you making that money? Yeah. You're selling out stuff. You're selling out America.
Yeah,
that's BS.
Yeah,
but I think we'll see some stuff. I would hope that.
You don't think they'll follow the same program as last time? The program last time was like,
I think they'll try to.
Okay, we're going to do lockdowns. Because of lockdowns, we're going to be able to.
I don't think we're going to do lockdowns. Lockdowns is like.
They're going to try, though. They've got to because it worked so well last time.
Well, I think they're not dumb. They're definitely not dumb. I think they're going to try to whatever system they had in place as far as like hacking or programming. They're going to try to streamline that so it looks more realistic. It's not like these huge batches of 100,000 votes come in that are just blatantly obvious that they're not real. And then the whole fact, like, I love how Will Smith said like his dad voted for the last president in 2 different states, even though he's been dead for a while. It's like, dude,
get the fuck out of here, dude.
we're not going to address that. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like that's a problem if you're seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I would say that's a minor problem compared to everything else that's going on.
Yeah. They need to make voting transparent, like who voted for who, where, and when. That way you could track it. And
Well, just get a receipt. Like you get a receipt, and it's just a super randomized number, like whatever, between 1 to a billion. You just get a printed number, and you're the only one that gets that after you vote. And then you can go online and check all your stuff that everyone has access to, but it's just numbers. But you could check, hey, my number is saying what I want. And everyone can check every single number and say, here's all the numbers. We checked them all, and everyone's saying, like, check your numbers online. Does your number coincide with what you actually voted for?
I think it should be public. Everyone should see who you voted for.
But then...
Well, that stops corruption right there, because you could go, I voted for...
So they've done that.
I have a receipt, and here's my receipt. I voted for fucking so-and-so. And then afterwards they go...
You know why they stopped that, right?
So they could rig elections?
Well, maybe, but their claim was that they didn't want people being bullied for how they vote, employees being...
Which is
bullied,
true. I understand
and
that.
people not being hired for a job because someone could say, hey, they've been voting Republican this whole time. I'm not going to pick them up as whatever, a nurse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's
so
a problem.
But if you had a random number, you could at least say, hey, my vote came in legit, and everyone has access to everyone's numbers, but they have no idea who that person is attached to that number because you're just printed a random letter number, whatever, like just some long-ass number.
Like a receipt that's a one-way.
Yeah.
If you wanted
no
to
one
check
can figure
on
out who you are, but you could figure out if your vote was calculated correctly, and then everyone sees how many votes there are. And like you could audit that. There's got to be an auditing system that people could audit themselves. There's got to be something.
They have to be able to do it.
Like just
because last time was out of control, dude.
It was super out of control.
Like, just mystery votes showing up at the last second in multiple different places.
And even if you look at it like, say it was totally legit. This is just like totally off, not off topic, but say this last election was totally legit. The amount of people that say it wasn't legit, you need to fix it. Find a system where you could say it's 100% legit. So all those people are like, oh, it's totally legit. Well, then you should also be arguing that, like, let's find a system where we could prove it's legit. You can't prove this is legit at all. There's zero proof. This is the worst voting system on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Was it France or Italy that used the same system and they proved that it was totally rigged and there was like riots and protests in the street? It was like a year after we had an election, or a year or two, and they used Dominion, and it was like they're like, this is BS. Like the guy that was like getting 15% of the the votes, he won, and they're like, no, that's not possible, this was rigged, and they proved it. And it's like, we're just sitting here like, the fact that the side that wins, like if Trump won and everyone was like, this was rigged, I would still, and that's who I would vote for, but I'm not saying he's the best candidate, but I would still be like, hey, like if this is looking like it was rigged, this needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
I don't care. That's just because you won. You're an idiot if you just like go along with that and like you it's possible that it was rigged. You should be fighting that. It should be a fair vote.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Trump wins, then that's who I would vote for. I think everyone else is garbage. Is pretty much garbage. So
there are some good ones. Like there's some
like who?
RFK Jr. and that Swamali guy, that young guy, that businessman. But they're not going to. They have zero chance because they're just going to get destroyed. Like I feel like the system in place, like you're only allowed to make it as the presidential candidate of your party is if you're like you've been in the system, and you've been corrupted already. Like they already know they can control you. I think what happened with Trump was they saw him as a figure that was like heavily into business, he's had a ton of bankruptcies. They probably thought he could be bought easily. Like it would be a one-day talk of like they own him, and then they're like, shit,
and then when
this
he shows
guy,
up, he's like, no, I'm the boss.
This guy,
screw you. I'm not going to your Illuminati party. I will not be raping children inside of a satanic cult. You know, and like he's not doing any weird. I think he stuff that everyone else is doing.
They thought they had him, and then he just turned out to be like this wild card crazy man that just shut down everything. And now what he's saying,
military-industrial complex, I'm not going to support it. And they're like,
we shouldn't.
Alert,
like, let's fix our country for once. Jesus Christ. Like, fix our country.
Yeah, but once they heard him start talking, like, screw the military-industrial complex, they were like, we're getting rid of him, dude. We're getting rid of him. But then you
I
get
think
guys,
we
good old
squabble.
boys like Biden. He's down for the military industrial
Yeah.
complex. He'll do. You want me to kill a bunch of babies? Hey, I'm Joe Biden. I'll do it
man.
for you, baby. You want me to kill a bunch of little kids at a wedding? Sure, I got
Who's
it.
this?
Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah. Who is he? Dude, we have like the most non-existent vice president also right now. Like, that's just pathetic.
Yeah. I mean, how did she make her way up? Did she do anything? Is she good at anything? Is there something that she
No,
was
but
good
like
at?
we're in an era. We've been in an era, I think, again for like the last 20 years, where it's who I want to pick the least disaster of a president for. Like that's who I'm going to vote for. It's not like, man, both candidates are so amazing. Like I don't know which one to pick. I just got like they're just such great people. Like they're such presidential quality. I don't know who to pick. They're so great. But now we're like, oh man, they're both like the worst possibilities. But which one's worse? That's where we're at right now for like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Like they're just total shit shows, and you're like
think
not saying
Trump-
Trump, not saying Trump is. Trump has said some stupid crap. I'm not gonna lie. He said
Like
some,
what? What do you say was down?
and he says later on that like the bleach, like we're gonna use bleach as an option for the COVID and UV rays. But that's just because you say stupid stuff doesn't mean you're necessarily a bad candidate, because you have advisors that are like, hey, dude, like you're not a scientist, you're not a doctor, but he has. You have to be a good statesman where like you're like, I'm going to do whatever is best for the people. I'm not going to sell out. It doesn't matter if he says he can say stupid stuff. Every president says like look at every president has, especially Biden. Jesus Christ, they say ridiculous things because they're talking live, but they're not. They don't have a PhD in whatever they're talking about, like whatever it is. But they have advisors for that. They have panels for that. I think Trump's main thing is that he is for the people and he will destroy. That's pretty maybe too much of an aggressive term, but he'll get rid of all these deep states, all this. We have so much corruption in CIA, FBI, politicians in general, super corrupt. Everyone's like, "Oh, China's the worst." Like we're worse at corruption. We're just really good at hiding it. Like we make it. Like why do you think we spend so much money in all these third world countries? Like tons, just hemorrhaging money into like Ukraine, whatever in Africa, but not
Israel,
Maui.
We send a lot of money to Israel.
Not a ton, not like Ukraine though, but
we send
but
a lot to them, dude.
we don't send any money to our states. Why
Yeah, I
is
know.
that? Because it's very well accounted for. You can't make money disappear in Maui. Everything's accounted for. It's America. It's the best country. Like we're gonna account for everything. And then everyone's gonna be like, where's everything going? But when it goes to Ukraine, it's like,
Oh no.
90% of it could disappear, and no one would know.
Yeah.
No one would know. It's just like, how much is what's his name? Zelensky. How much is his house worth in Florida? His mega mansion that he has,
dude.
that he's had forever. Like he has so many mansions in America. Like
you know what I should
really,
do is
really.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna steal a bus. And I'm gonna load it full of homeless people. And I'm gonna drive to Zelensky's house.
Just dump them off.
And we're going in the house, dude. No one's stopping us, dude. I'm gonna put him in the fucking house.
If you're a president of another country, is that considered American soil, or is that like a what do you call them?
It's American soil.
You know what I mean? Though,
It's
like
just
it's like
he has stuff over here. It's so crazy, dude.
it's not like what do you call them? Those things that the Marines protect all over.
Embassies?
It's not like considered like an embassy where it's
I
like
don't think
other
so.
soil. Like
Who cares?
no,
dude?
I know. I'm just saying you could. Then the American law doesn't
Dude,
apply to you. You
yeah.
could just go bananas in there.
Let me buy some
Not
land.
American
Let me
soil.
buy some land in Ukraine and consider it part of America.
That's another thing that's weird is most countries do not allow foreigners to own land in their country, but
Yeah.
China owns a lot of land here.
Isn't it something
Farmland,
crazy? Like
water rights.
10% of all America is owned by Chinese.
It's a lot. I know after our, was it 2012 depression or whatever, they bought up so much land. It was insane.
Yeah.
And here we are. I can't remember what they were doing a ton. Oh, and then they got farming. I didn't know this until recently that in Arizona, they own a bunch of farmland, and Arizona's got water issues, but all these Chinese properties, these huge mega farmlands, they're not restricted on water rights. They can use as much water as they want for free.
Oh my god.
From aquifers,
dude.
from rivers, yeah. Look it up. It's ridiculous. They could just blast through our water, but not us, not Americans.
Don't worry, dude. One day someone will take over. Now, who's it gonna be? Who you bet money on? China?
Oh, as far as taking over the...
Mexico cartels.
I don't
It
think
ain't
China.
gonna be Russia. Russia is we've already seen.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
they're
think
they're winning in Ukraine. They're definitely beating the Ukraine's ass.
Russia's
but it's costing them. It's not free.
Russia's
They get
like
hurt.
they are owned by, not owned because I know he's very Putin doesn't put up with any bullshit, but I feel like China runs everything that's going on with that. Like that's all coordinated. I don't know. That whole situation's weird that it's even going. Like how many people are gonna die over there? It's so brutal. Like,
Yeah.
but hey, we're making a lot of money at least. Well, not us. The politicians are. Keeps it. Oh, and now we're sending. Oh God, look up. The UK just sent long range missiles. They can go. I
Oh
think
yeah, I saw that today.
they have a weird name. They have a cool name for the UK's at least. They're long range missiles that go like 200 miles. That doesn't sound too far, but supposedly I guess that's a big deal. But ours go almost. We're giving them long range missiles now. Our version of them, they go almost 400 miles, and I can see that being an issue. It's like most wars now are just fought with ordnance, not so much like soldiers on the ground aren't like the biggest thing anymore. They are a nice fight, but like when we first went to Iraq, it was just we bombed the crap out of them and then just walked in because we won.
Yeah, a little over a week ago.
But what I'm saying is like Russia could very well say like, "Hey, you're using all your ordnance on us, like this crazy stuff. Like you're basically at war with us, so we can be at war with you." Like
Little over a week ago, they sent a bunch of missiles over there.
yeah, so they've already used them.
They sent them $325 million
Oh, that's nice. Why not?
about 9 days ago for air defense, artillery, and anti-armor capabilities and cluster mines.
That sounds like what they've been sending. But no, they give them some crazy. Let me look it up. They give them some crazy stuff now. It's like, are we really gonna?
I mean, they sent a bunch, but that was one thing they sent. U.S. sending long-range cluster missiles to Ukraine.
Well,
So did the U.K.
yeah, UK was first to do it. Let's see. Yeah, so we're sending our what do they call them, ATACMS, long range missiles, ATACMS.
U.K. to send.
They're saying these only have 190.
M270s. Send them M270 multiple launch rocket systems is what it's called. Not rocket launch systems.
So they already have
systems.
like the mobile launch pads or whatever you want to call them. Like everyone, you know what I'm talking about. They can launch these. They just didn't have the missiles yet. They were launching other stuff, but we're now sending them our super long range stuff.
HIMARS. Yeah, whatever. They're sending them a bunch of shit, dude.
What I'm saying is like that's basically an active war. Like if we're basically doing what started the Cold War, but on the reverse side.
Who in America is like, we got to kill those Russians, kill them all? What do you think? It's 5%
here in America?
In America, it's just bloodthirsty. You know.
I would say
going in their pants, just ready to kill them.
5%.
Kill them all. Oh.
Nothing against Russians, like especially the people there. Like they're just living there. Like they just want to live their life.
Yeah, dude.
And it's not.
We don't have a problem with Russia. We don't care about Ukraine. We don't care about Russia.
I thought they were becoming our ally. Like, and then everyone's like, "Oh, that's because of Trump was colluding with it." It's like, dude, no.
It was all fake. The Trump colluding with Russia was proven to be
BS. Created by Hillary Clinton. That's a total scam. She should be arrested
for it. Stolen
for
2020 election, which was stolen from us. From the American people.
If you think he's a puppet of Putin, just watch his handshake videos on YouTube. Like he grabs him and pulls him in. Like he's like
just tries to dominate over him.
Yeah, he alpha males Putin. He's like, I'm in control. He's not his puppet. He same with like just all
Putin,
the world.
You're
leaders.
5'10". I'm 6'4". Wow.
Yeah, he just grabs like he always he does like that jerk in where he pulls him in and he's like, get over here.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I don't think it's going to escalate too much, but it's just like why even play with nukes? Like you're sending long range missiles, and Putin had a good point. He's like, you can't distinguish if you get to the point where you're sending stuff that's capable of carrying nukes. He's like, our systems can't distinguish what the payload is. All they do is detect that it's a nuclear capable rocket, multiple ones flying in, and then it's just automated from there.
And
Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
I don't blame him, dude. If he nukes Ukraine, you think I'm going to be up in arms?
Nope.
No offense
I
to
don't
you.
care. Just end the war already.
Yeah,
Jesus.
if you live in Ukraine, your war is none of my problem. Your war is none of my problem. I don't care if Russia takes you over, and I don't care if you beat Russia. I don't care. That's your guys' problem way over there, and you guys figure it out. Stop stealing my money. Stop taking away from people over here who are homeless, who don't have anything. People can't afford a house over here, but you guys are clubbing it up, kicking it.
Yeah.
Getting into a war that we don't care about. We don't care about your war. And I know that's mean or whatever, but whatever, dude. Screw you guys. Like,
it's not mean. It needs to end. Like, the thing is, like, if you're like, I'm pro-Ukraine, support them, give them bombs. All you're saying and all you're doing is making sure every male in Ukraine dies. You're making sure Ukraine gets annihilated.
Yeah.
They will lose.
Yeah.
They will most likely lose. But no matter what, the longer you force us to continue, you're just killing tons of people.
Yeah.
Like, why? I would like. Could you imagine living there right now? Like, as a male, you're going to die. As a female, you might die.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to die.
Whenever
It's
I
like
watch
a
those
horrible
videos,
life.
I mean, you've watched a lot of those Ukraine videos, the drone videos, and all that stuff. It's like I don't feel good
Watching them just get
about it because, like, when you watch the video, a lot of people will watch the video and they'll pick a side. They'll go, "Yeah, those Russians kill them," or they'll do the opposite. "Yeah, those Ukrainians screw those guys."
So dumb.
It's like you guys are killing each other for nothing. I mean, there's other
Absolutely
people
nothing.
elsewhere. They're gonna ride on yachts. Five years after you're dead and your family's cried over you and you're a skeleton somewhere in the ground somewhere in an unmarked grave, people profited off of you and your war. They're going to tell you to go die. They're not going to take the same risks, and you're going to get whacked out there for nothing, dude. It's not a big deal. And
Yeah.
you might say, you don't know what you're talking about. I know this. Stop taking our money. You go fight your own war. You fund it yourself. You want to fight so bad, then keep going. You'll
I don't
fight
think
with
anyone in Ukraine or Russia wants to fight. I think it's just a money grab.
Con, dude. I feel like they're getting suckered into killing each other.
Yeah.
And like you guys
You
chill,
can try to. You're gonna use exactly what we do. You're patriotic if you fight for your country.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile,
you must be a coward if you didn't go overseas and get your dick blown off.
people are making millions off this. Like corporations and politicians are making hundreds of millions, if not billions, off of this. It's like, it's just getting ridiculous that people are so blind to it. They're like, yeah, we like fly the flag. It's like, dude,
Screw you, dude.
you're so dumb. Like, you're so oblivious to reality. It's insane. Like, you have no idea how horrible you are making things.
Unless people are in your backyard, and here's why, like, I say what I said, but I can understand. You're in Ukraine trying to mind your own business. They bomb your house. They kill your dog and your son or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, you're going to be mad. You're going to fight in the trenches, and you're going to bayonet some Russian guy when you see him. But I'm saying before all that even happened, just the war starting itself it's just like, dudes, don't fight for.
America looks like idiots right now.
Well, yeah, we look like idiots because
we're like, how dare you invade another country? And it's like, meanwhile, we are the kings of invading countries.
Yeah, dude.
Iraq, Afghanistan,
America
Kosovo,
America
Korea.
is a place where we just
Vietnam.
killed everyone and took their whole land, dude.
Yeah, we are like,
we are the
that's all we do.
Your fucking land, and then
it's always on a false flag principle. Like, it's always like, oh, we were under attack. No, it turns out we just made that up, but it sounded good. It made the people.
They got oil.
Fall. Yeah.
Yeah, they're bad people.
They've got nukes.
That have to be stopped.
They might have nukes. They've got nukes. Something bad's happening. Weapons of mass destruction. Go in now.
Dude,
it's like, dude, we should shut up on this one.
We give our money up for that war. The people over there on Ukraine and Russian sides, they're dying for nothing.
We've mastered this because I feel like this is our invasion also. Like, we're supporting Ukraine as like instead of like using U.S. troops.
We ain't. I mean, the American government is.
Yeah.
I don't.
No. I know. I'm saying the American government is like evolved to the point where like, hey, we're not getting much support for invading other countries. We're losing Americans. Let's have a puppet country get invaded and we'll protect them. We'll be the saviors. We'll just spend all the money we were going to spend and give them all the ordnance we were going to use. Yeah. And then our hands are going to look clean.
And we'll even get some suckers to go overseas and volunteer.
I can't believe people are doing that. It's so stupid.
Remember in the beginning when they all went there and they were all blogging and
yeah,
and they got whacked, dude. It's like,
almost
you
all
idiots,
of them did.
Dude. You fools. Like, that sucks. But at the same time, you went over there to do some killing and make yourself look cool, and then you got killed.
And no one is going over there to like, I'm going to help the people. Like, no, you're going over there to try to look cool, try to get some videos, get Instagram famous or whatever. Like, you're not, you don't care about anybody.
Get some GoPro combat footage, come back home,
yeah, you're
and
trying
then
to
write a
be
book,
famous.
write a book, and say like, oh, my time in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh, the struggle against what do they call them? Probably fascists, invaders, something like that.
Well, it's weird too. They're calling them fascists, but it's like weird that both sides, both the Ukrainians special forces are a Nazi group, and then the Wagner group, the Zs. That's why the Zs are on their tanks. Everyone's like, why do they have Zs and Vs on their tank? It's because that's what the Wagner group symbol is, and that's also what the Ukrainian special forces. But they're all Nazis.
Yeah.
They all are heavily oriented to that Nazi party. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a weird fight.
I don't understand how you could be like punch Nazis here in America and be like, oh, if you're a conservative, you're a Nazi, I'll punch you. But then literally 2 hours later be like, I support Ukraine. And like,
yeah.
what, 10-20% of their army is straight up Nazis.
Yeah.
Like descended from Nazis, believe in Nazis.
Have swastikas on them, have all sorts
have
of
swastikas. You know, they're you know.
This is such a side note. Did you see all these Gen Zs now are
Z.
getting the Z tattoo from Wagner? Not from Wagner, from...
Because someone told them, hey, it's a Gen Z
yeah,
tattoo, but it's really a Nazi tattoo.
Jesus Christ. So embarrassing.
That's great.
Yeah, get that Z tattoo. That's great.
Anyway, screw those guys, dude. Over there, I don't care about Russia or Ukraine. I don't care about either one of them.
That's going back to like the whole political thing. Like, this needs to stop. Like, this whole like warmongering and all this, the military-industrial complex. It needs to stop. This is getting too crazy.
Yeah.
And like you get these countries that like, and you really don't know what other countries are about because every country is really good at now about filtering and propaganda and all this other stuff. Like, we don't know everything about other countries. Like, we might turn out to be the baddies at the end.
Yeah, fuck it. Forget it. Gee willikers.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, someone like a lot of these politicians coming in, like RFK Jr., even Trump's saying it too now that he's going to tear apart the corruption and government. Like, that's awesome, but I don't think you're going to make it into office saying that kind of, like, you talk like that.
Yeah.
JFK said that stuff, and
if he makes it,
he didn't last too long.
JFK ain't gonna win.
No, RFK Jr.
RFK, I mean, he ain't gonna win.
No, they'll tear him apart.
He's gonna show up. He's gonna eat a bunch of votes. That's why I think that Trump's gonna win this time. Because RFK's showing up, he's gonna eat.
Well, RFK's
10% of Democrat votes, dude. He's gonna eat it up.
Do you think he'll ever pick? Can you even pick? Can Trump pick RFK as a vice president?
No, dude. RFK's reputation would be trashed if he hung out with Trump. Because Trump, you got to remember, to people who are like super liberal, Trump's a really bad person. He is Hitler. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's bad. So it's like you cannot. It doesn't matter what he does. He could go into an orphanage that was on fire and save 100 kids. They would be like, the way that he handled those kids, he was too rough on them when he carried them out.
They would say the same stuff that everyone, like, it just conspiracies. He started the fire. He did this. He caused this to happen.
He just ain't going to do anything. And you have to think the same thing. Like they're not going to, he ain't getting a free pass. So you're going to have 50% of the population not liking him.
Jesus.
But as long as you have enough votes to get that fool in there.
If you think 50% of the population won't vote for Trump, he's not going to make it.
Well, that's actually good.
It's
good if he doesn't make it.
Trump?
Yeah.
Well, then what's going to happen?
Well, what's going to happen is
we're going to get just an overlord that's going to control us more and more, and the same crap's going to happen. It's just going to go downhill more.
Yeah. That's what you want.
There will never be an uprising. People are too calm in their way. They're too.
That's what people have said before. How many peasant uprisings have there been in the past? All over Europe.
We don't have the time. We don't have peasants with nothing to lose. We have peasants. Our peasants are basically like the younger generation that are like don't have jobs, that are hyper liberal. They will never rise up. They are hyper passive. Like they are the most passive.
Of course
they'll fight against Trump, but they will never fight like a real fight. They'll riot.
Yeah, you're thinking too short term. I'm talking about in the next 100 years.
Oh well.
Yeah. So
I think in the next 100 years, if something doesn't change quickly, China will own America.
Okay, then let them own it.
They're close enough already.
Let them own it. Like I support America becoming an Islamic caliphate because
No, you don't.
yeah, I do. Because if it becomes an Islamic caliphate, you would have more order. You'd have
That's not necessarily order.
yeah, it is. It's total order. It's total order. It's something that no one else can provide for you. So if they're my whole thing is best man, let the best man win, dude. And it's definitely not liberal people.
It's not order if you could die at any time because of some tyrant wants to kill you because you did whatever. You looked at a goat wrong or you looked at his wife. That's not order. When you can just get murdered at any time. You're just saying that they can inflict their rule on anyone at any time for any reason.
Yeah,
that's
order.
That's not order. You could die at any time.
So which order do you want? Do you want the order? the way that you want to head it is
order would be like 1950s
the way
America.
that the way that you want to do it is that you'll win this next election, and that won't do anything. It's not going to fix.
If he goes
anything.
to war with the deep state and all these federal,
he's not going to do anything. The only thing, if Trump wins, the only thing it would be a FU to every liberal. That's all it is. It's a cool 4 years where you could stick both middle fingers up at every Black Lives Matter person and go like this.
No.
And that's what you want, dude.
That doesn't do anything though. Like if it's not going to solve anything, then who cares? You're just wasting time and money.
Exactly. So Trump,
you have to, like,
Trump winning, he's not going to
issues.
start. He's not going to address any issues. He would just win. It would be an FU. But if he lost, it would be better.
No, I think he's ready to go to war. Like
he's not going to go to war.
Well, then it's never going to get fixed.
It's okay.
If you believe that, it's never going to get fixed. There's
right,
no other.
I'll be back in a second.
All right. Well.
Just keep talking.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think I would hope there's someone out there that could fix these issues, like just focus on the country more. It always reminds me of like that whole saying of like you've got to put the oxygen mask on the child or yourself before you put it on the child. It's like we're putting it on every single like small thing out there before we fix ourselves. We need to fix ourselves so we can keep on helping. Like you can't help other countries before you help yourself. If you're failing, you need to help yourself first, build yourself back up, and then you can continue on. But where we're going is just, I don't know. And we're just the polarization of the two parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, just going so far extreme, super religious and anti-abortion on one side, and the other side just totally like just anyone could be any sex and just chaos on both, like not chaos on both sides, but liberals are pushing the boundary a lot harder. I think we need a third party. We need like a middle party of reason, which I don't know if we'll ever get that. Maybe if we got a different type of voting system. Or if your like main person doesn't make it, your votes go to your secondary person. I think that's going in a lot of states, but I don't know. I think that's going to wrap this one up. There's not much more to say about that. It's always a very heated topic, but that's going to do it. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.